Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cult Show. We are live. Technical difficulty free. Finger guns. Okay, finger guns. Finger guns in the Cult Show, Cassandra said. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Friday. We're back. Back again. We're here and we're back.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what's going on?
It's about to get extreme.
It's about to get extreme. Very extreme. Just like the weather has been and the sky this week and pretty much this world. It's all been extreme.
It's been horrid. Horrid.
Jesus.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like, can it get any worse? Why, yes. Yes, it can.
Don't say that.
For 4 days.
I know. Every time.
I just saw like a thing on social media about that movie Jeepers Creepers. Apparently it's time for him to rise.
Oh, good.
Year.
Okay.
Somebody just did the math, and it's like perfect. Of course, that motherfucker's gonna show up. Like,
yes,
nobody say it. It'll happen.
It's gonna happen. There's no more. Nah, that's not gonna. That couldn't happen. There's no more of that.
Can't get worse.
It's like there's totally gonna be freaking a Tyrannosaurus Rex walking down my street soon, chomping on little kids and. I mean, it's just everything.
Picking up lawyers and shaking them, and then like out.
Yes, I mean everything you can think of is going to start happening. It's going to be the seas are going to run red.
It'll be like Cabin in the Woods when all the doors open and
all the
like
everything comes out. See, Santa's be like, "Where's the merman?
He's my favorite.
I know.
My favorite is the merman because he like just flops like a fish. It's like so but I mean he's really mean, but it's kind of unceremonious. Yeah,
it's true. Oh Lord, it's just crazy. Anyway, so because of that, I've decided to start drinking.
Now you've decided to start.
Now I've decided.
I'm going to give in on an hourly basis.
Exactly.
You just hear like a little ding, ding, ding. Oh, that's my Apple Watch. Time to drink.
Yeah, I don't breathe. I drink.
Right. Those damn breathing reminders.
I actually turned mine
off
so yesterday. Finally.
I turned mine off too. I was like, I can breathe, motherfucker.
I'm like, exactly. You know what? I've learned in my 46 years to breathe on my own. Thank you.
See, mine's new, so it's still on, but
it's still novel. Yeah, still doing that stuff.
So, Sandra, what do you have in your cup?
In my cup, I'm back to this cup.
Back to the old school cup.
Above, so below. I don't know. I just felt like it went better with this outfit and this vibe. I am having one of my hop teas, and this one is Citra. Yeah, that's the hop flower that's used.
Wow, they got flavored ones. That's impressive.
Yeah. Oh, and on the hoppiness scale, it's just a wee bit hoppy.
Just a wee bit. Okay. Just a wee bit.
Yeah, it goes wee bit, quite, really, and whoa.
Whoa.
It's like
whoa.
Cute. So
it's
cute.
Like, whoa. So cute.
And Caleb, what did you pull together?
Nothing crazy. Just a bourbon and ginger.
That's okay because you're celebrating National Bourbon Month with me, right?
That's why I did.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. It was that.
That's okay.
So. Do they have a bourbon water?
I know.
Yeah. Shoot. You know what? Let me just get some.
Go get that. So I've decided I'm going to try 2 different bourbons tonight while we are on the air.
Oh shit!
One of them will be the Maker's Mark, so it's currently in my cup.
It's a little baby.
No, I have big hands. You didn't know that about me, did you? I got giant hands.
You have giant hands.
That's right.
Oh God, that's really scary to know that now.
And then I got a Jim Beam, so we'll see what happens.
And this is the first time you've ever tried either of those.
No, I've had Maker's Mark. Jim Beam, I don't have very often. I know I should just say that. So I did some in our studio cup. Studio glass. With some ice and then some fresh squeeze cutie.
That not muddled?
Not muddled.
No muddle.
Just squeeze.
No muddle.
Oh my God, that's our cups, you guys.
So cheers. Cheers to
I'm
everyone.
Sad now. Cheers.
I'm sorry. Happy Friday though. Don't be sad. All right.
Just a wee bit hoppy.
A wee bit.
Just a wee bit.
So, do you want to know who's joining us tonight thus far in the chat?
Who's here? I can't see.
Yes, we've got the wonderful Miss Movie Buff Laura.
Hi, Laura.
The equally wonderful and wonderfully blonde Mindy. Sorry, Mindy.
You
and then,
wonderful.
Hey, got stuck there, didn't you?
I did. I got stuck. Yes, I didn't want to get in trouble.
They're both so wonderful.
They're both so wonderful.
They are. Absolutely.
And we got the bodacious Michael.
What up, Michael?
Mike.
That's one you don't hear very much.
I know. I gotta go bodacious. Of course, we got Vision's Truth over in East Washington. Mike, we hope. Mark, we hope that you are safe. The fires, hopefully, if you're in the east side, are not near you.
Absolutely.
Let us know you're doing okay. And then Pismo Mark as well is joining us.
All the marks. Every mark is accounted for.
All the marks are here. Mark, hopefully there's no fires near you. I mean, the whole western freaking
country
coast of this country is covered on fire.
Not even the coast, the inland west part too.
Yes. Oh, you're right. That too. Central Valley's got some. Yeah. In California.
No. Like Colorado, Wyoming. Montana,
you're right. I'm sorry.
Idaho.
You're right.
Nevada.
I'm just saying how like the entire West Coast is just, it's all like purple or red in the maps, of the air quality. And then Enoch is here.
What's up, E?
Welcome, Enoch. He's like possibly the only safe place in the country without fire, maybe.
I'm sure he's got a hurricane or something.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, there's something going on.
Some places have snow.
Nah, he's just got those big giant Minnesota bugs.
Like big bugs that bite you.
Storms of them?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, Vision said earlier, he's like, it's October, so it'll be an alien invasion. That's what's going to happen next.
There you go.
So, yep, there you go.
Fingers crossed for that one.
Aliens are real, and 2020 is going to be the year that...
I'd be so fine with it. I mean, I'm going to have an alien living on my couch. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. Hey, I was going to bring this up later, but Mark actually from Pismo mentioned it. But he said, cheers to the victims and first responders of 9/11. Yeah. May they always be remembered. So, Mark, we were going to say something a little bit later about it, but you're saying it now. We might as well just talk about it now. Absolutely. 19th anniversary of 9/11. So a huge shout out to all the first responders and the families that lost loved ones. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So we cheers to them.
Absolutely.
Heartbreaking.
Yes. Okay. So, as always, what is happening in the world of Sandra?
In the world of Sandra?
Yes, in the world of...
my world? This
like
is
that.
my world?
This is your world.
It's all for you, Sandra. It's all for you.
Oh my God. It'd be a real interesting place. Real scary. I watched 2 things last weekend, which was very exciting. I watched I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and I watched it like almost immediately after I finished the book too. So I did really enjoy that. I personally liked the book a lot better than the movie, but I think the movie was super, super well done. And that's on Netflix. And then I also watched The Host on Shudder. I'm sorry, not The Host, just Host on Shudder. That's the one that they filmed very recently during quarantine, and it's only about 40 minutes, which is so hilarious. It's about the length of a free Zoom call if you have multiple people on the call.
Right.
And that's what it is about, is a group of friends on a Zoom call having a seance. And it is a thumping good movie. I mean, like, my God, it made me jump. I actually did a little yelp. Had a yelp. I was like, oh, it got me. Smart jump scares, and a really good example of, like, you don't always need a lot of stuff. I mean, I like stuff. I like special effects. I like makeup, but you don't always need a lot. Sometimes you just need, like, just little sprinklings, and it gave me the same vibes as the first Paranormal Activity when I first saw it in theaters. It gave me, like, that feeling of, like, oh, this is so exciting and so fun.
Yeah. I watched both films at your behest. So, and
you listen to me.
I know. I listen to you a lot, actually. Probably more than my own wife. So
you listen to me. So that means you listen to me about 15% of the time.
No,
And you listen to
I don't
that poor
know.
woman about 7% of the time.
A lot. 7% of the time is a lot. No, 15. But anyway, Host was really good. It was a lot of fun. I agree.
I know it made you jump too. You told me.
I said no. I even made at the end. I think it was at the end. They had a little thing, and if I remember right, I saw a bunch of movies this last week because of
Seriously.
topics. I'm trying to remember what was what.
Yeah.
But there was a scene where I think towards the end where I actually went, hey! So.
Yeah, you did a Yelp as well.
I did. Yeah, I did a little 4-star review on Yelp. So it was pretty good.
Fuck Yelp.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
in that,
seriously.
Sandra.
Likes Yelp.
Can we get shirts? I think the first merch we get should be shirts that say "fuck Yelp."
But you know what's funny is like now the only people on Yelp like are the Karens. They completely like took it over. They like fought really hard in like the Battle of Yelp, and now that's like their domain.
Yeah, but they're ruining good businesses for no reason.
Oh yeah,
that's
they're
the problem.
awful.
Totally unnecessary. So
yeah,
totally.
No.
So you watched that?
Yep. And then I watched. I won't skip. You can go after me, Kel. That's fine. But then and I watched the other one you said. Whatever.
I'm thinking of anything.
Yeah, whatever it's called. So now going into that one, I didn't realize that it was a Charlie Kaufman film. I went into it so blind.
I told okay, Neil, I can't do everything for you.
No, it's not. I'm not blaming you.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, you're right.
I assume people Google these things.
No, I went in. Sandra says it's good, so I'm gonna watch it. And then I did, and I was just like, and then after I saw the Charlie Kaufman, I'm like, oh, if only I had known that ahead of time, I would have been in that right frame of mind to accept the weirdness and what the heck is going on.
Absurdity.
Yeah.
We should say it's absurd. It's absurd. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good though.
In the best
The acting is very good. And of course Toni Collette is superb. And the young lady, I don't remember her name, the young lady who was in it, but she's
British. Yeah.
She was great.
Her before this.
She was great also.
Fantastic.
I wrote her name down on something. I don't know if I put it on here though. Let me check.
Did you give her a Yelp review? Did you write her name down on Yelp?
But I gave her good scores.
Yeah, I gave you a great score on Yelp.
Anyway, what was it called again?
I'm thinking of ending.
Thinking of ending.
Thinking of ending. Okay, so yeah, check that one. It is worth checking out.
Read the book first. It's only like 200 pages.
Or check it out.
Or just check it out, as pretty much everyone does.
Do both. Just do both.
All right, Caleb. What did you do aside from watch 1,000 films this week?
I too watched The Host.
Host.
Sorry,
Host.
I know.
Is a different
I keep
movie.
calling it The Host. That's the one with what's her name, right?
It's the one with it's a Korean. There's a monster in the water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I too watched The Host and Host.
Nope, just one singular.
I too
Drop
watched.
The article.
Let's spend the whole show just
I
doing
too
that.
watched the movie Host.
We should have that buzzer.
Yeah.
Oh, you be using it on me all the time.
Remember, because Neil and I have played on Instagram Live games before, where they're like questions, like trivia, and we have the little. It's a lot of power.
That's what we have.
But you'd be like dinging that thing on me all the time. So, anyway, I watched Host, and it was a good movie. Absolutely, I enjoyed it. So,
did you jump?
Yeah, absolutely. But,
I think it's one of those movies. Personally, somebody told me, "Oh, I didn't jump."
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. Bullshit artists.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I would not believe them. No.
Can you guys not hear that?
No.
Oh, I'm trying to buzz Caleb, but I guess you guys can't hear it.
Oh, I didn't hear anything. Sorry.
All right, that's all right.
I mean, you look like you're plotting something.
Devious?
Over there.
Yes, I'm doing something.
Yeah.
What else, Caleb? Anything else?
So I just want to say that we both listened to you and we both watched a movie that you suggested. So,
I'm so
but then
honored.
I also watched the Dune trailer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a whole thing.
Which is really cool. I'm very excited to hopefully see this movie in a theater because I freaking love that book. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. So
gotta see it in theaters.
The 80s movie did not do it justice, so hopefully this does. And then finally, I watched Conair for you guys.
But you didn't like it because you watched it by yourself.
And I am not changing my opinion. I still do not like that movie. Sorry.
You have to watch it with people. That's not really like a solo
You keep
film.
like throwing these little caveats out there. You know, I watched it with people when it came out in the theaters, and I didn't like it.
Do you watch it with us? Do you watch it with the Cult Show family?
All right. Let's watch it in 10 years because I probably need that long before I want to watch it again.
Oh, if I had the buzz thing, I'd be.
Caleb, that movie is just pure '90s trash fun. I don't understand.
Yeah,
what,
it is.
I don't understand.
I don't know.
So
I don't get it.
good.
Sometimes I just get in these moods, and
I mean,
I'm like very resistant. So
you're like you're a moody little fish.
John Cusack running around in those slippers,
those shoes.
Oh my God.
Those
whatever,
sandals with socks.
The sandal. There you go.
In his ridiculous 90s suit. It's so like it's like billowy and weird and pleated. It's disgusting.
We had big clothes.
That was the style back then, though. Yeah.
Oh my God! And Nicolas Cage's hair.
No slim fits, and it was great to see Cole
Cage's
Meany.
hair.
I love me some Cole Meany.
Yep.
And his Corvette, his ass kicker.
Well, I mean, basically, there's so many good. Like all the little people. There's Steve Buscemi.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many little
Johnny Malk.
Treats. Johnny Malk.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
What's a little treats? Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Trejo.
Who's like sleazy as fuck in it, but
yeah, but it's still it's better than no Danny Trejo.
Yeah. So
he's a treasure.
Anyway, I tried you guys. I did it for you. I had a little bit of time this week because we gave ourselves a whole bunch of homework, but
I'm on to Jim Beam. I'm on the bourbon number 2.
All right.
Time to gym.
See how it measures up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's see. I told you about that. I had what I have. Did you guys see that freaking LA County tried to cancel Halloween?
It's so what they did is they canceled door-to-door trick-or-treating.
Which is, they basically canceled Halloween.
No, Neil, that is not Halloween. That is not. We've discussed this many times.
Well, for
Halloween
the kids,
is in your heart. No, the kids can still have a little party at home. The kids can still do plenty of things. It's only canceled if you want it to be canceled. If you have a bad attitude.
Okay, what I'm saying is, as I remember being a child, and granted, I agree with you, Sandra. The greatest thing about Halloween, of course, is the whole month or more leading up to it.
That's is Halloween.
The feeling of everything, of the season changing, and the movies that are on the TV and everything, the decorations. I love it as much as you, believe me. As a kid, though, I remember it was more about
all about the candy,
to the costume and the trick or treating and the candy. That's
but I
all.
have an idea. I have an idea.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So, and I've thought a lot about this. So, first of all, nothing stopping you from dressing up in your home. Nothing, and taking pictures. Nothing stopping you from that, kids. Okay. So here's what I think everybody should do if you have kids that live near you. It's reverse trick or treating. You, as the grown up, make some little treat bags, and you go around and you leave them on kids' doors, and then you knock or ring their doorbell, and then back up 6 feet at least, and then the kids answer the door and they say trick or treat, and they pick up their treat. So see, it's kind of like us adults who should theoretically know how to social, have the big reveal of their costume, only we go to them. It's reverse trick or treating.
Okay.
And you get to walk around. You get to move your move ring on
your Apple Watch. Will love that shit. I don't know. I'm just saying.
That is a very admirable idea, and we should try and make that happen.
I have a neighbor child. I'm going to do that for her.
That's very nice of you. But I mean, there's not a lot here yet. Yet. Anyway,
plus, you know what else you can do? You can gather around and watch the Cult Show with your children.
That is a good way to spend Halloween. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the best way to spend Halloween.
Watch the Cult Show. Don't worry about it.
We're going to have a whole month of fun shit going on.
It's
a whole thing. This is a teaser. I'm teasing the people with it.
Tease it. Yes.
Yeah, we're doing a thing, and it's gonna be fun. And we're gonna dress up sometimes and talk about
doing a thing, and it's gonna
movies,
be fun.
and there is audience participation involved.
Yep. Exactly. So hopefully we'll.
Like it.
I guess we'll announce it hopefully next week, right? When we
I
get
think
our
next
ducks
week will be good.
in
We need
the
a little. Yeah, we see right now. We're just throwing out the bait. We're chumming the waters.
Chumming the waters. I like that term. We're chumming the waters because you guys are nothing more than freaking
Sharks.
Sharks in the ocean. Okay. Time for Sandra's favorite part of the show. Woo! Yay. Pointless information, pointless facts, whatever we call it. Pointless news. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, like the little
Yeah.
breaking
Thank
news. It's okay. Yeah.
This day. No, I'm
this
sorry. I lied to you.
Go ahead.
Okay. You know, we'll start with the birthdays. This day in 1962, Christy McNichol was born. You remember Christy McNichol? No? Sandra, Caleb, you do. Christy McNichol from the pirate movie.
So I just said.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. And also that one with Paper Moon, the girl with Paper Moon, Tatum O'Neal. Okay. Anyway, Sandra's like, what are you talking about? These are real people, Sandra. I'm not lying.
Sounds made up.
Okay, here's what you'll know.
People born in the 1970s know who we're talking about.
In 1980, she was really popular, Sandra. Just trust me on that.
She had a great year.
She did. No. This day in 1961, Virginia Madsen. I know you know Virginia Madsen from Candyman and other things.
And the what is it? The Connecticut with that fucking horrible movie.
Oh yeah, that one we hated.
Yeah. Right? An American Haunting? Was it that one?
No.
Or was it a Haunting in Connecticut?
The Haunting in Connecticut.
Haunting in Connecticut. All right.
Yeah.
They were both equally wonderful movies, but
I think American Haunting was a little worse.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think that one made the spam meter, if I remember. So, and then finally, one of my favorite directors, Brian De Palma, was born this day in 1940. Carrie, and a freaking plethora of other wonderful films. But of course, you guys, Scarface, and what's our favorite, Caleb? You remember?
Body Double?
Body Double, yes.
Raising Cain?
Yes, Raising Cain. Everyone else hates it, but we love it. Yes.
I've never seen it. I might love it.
I think Raising Cain is on Netflix. Okay. So there you go. I think it is. So there you go.
All right, cool. Check it out.
We've just suggested a movie to you, Sandra.
There you go, Sandra. Raising Cain. And then finally, tomorrow was in 1981, September 12th, was the premiere of the Smurfs. The Smurfs came alive on TV.
I know
the little
Smurfs.
blue people. The Smurfs.
That's
Smurfette.
Smurferific. That's just Smurfy.
And what's his name? Gargamel.
Gargamel. What about the cat?
The cat. No, don't tell me. I know the cat's name.
I know it.
Azrael.
I know it. Yeah.
Very good.
I know my Smurfs.
You know your Smurfs. Cool.
I know a woman in real life named Azrael, and I want to tease her about that all the time. But
it's a sick name.
I figure she's gotten it her entire life. So
that's pretty cool.
I think it's also no, it's close to a demon's name too. I mean, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I think it's a cool. No, it is a cool sounding name.
Different.
And I'm gonna give a real quick shout out to. We have a new subscriber on YouTube, Molly Siskin. Subscribe. So a quick shout out. Hey Molly, thank you very much for subscribing.
Thank you, Molly. You're the bestest.
And everyone else who subscribes, of course, we love you. Thank you so much, guys. We'll start calling you out now.
I was gonna say we never do that. I know, and I feel like start. Molly just got preferential treatment. Well, and other people are gonna write us a bad Yelp review and be like, "I didn't get called out. I didn't get a shout out."
I know. From now on we'll start, and everyone else, we'll make it up to you one way or another. Sandra will dance a jig for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Just for you.
Okay, Sandra, what is our topic tonight?
So this is kind of like a hilarious name for a title. Okay. Imagine, if you will, a Michael Bay style explosion with lots of fire. This is extreme PG.
Can I let me try something here.
Are you going to do a sound effect?
Yeah.
You're trying to do a sound.
Extreme.
Could you hear it?
Do it again.
Okay, hang on. Oh shoot. Oh,
say it again. Say it again.
No, don't do it to me. Demi, why you do that to me, Demi?
Why you do this, Demi? Why?
Okay, ready?
Yep. Yeah.
Extreme.
That's so funny. Oh my god. So that's it. So what we mean by that is, and I kind of posted this earlier, is, you know, those movies that shouldn't be rated PG but they are. We're going to talk about them. And we're going to talk about why we think it's weird that they're rated PG. And as a refresher too, PG stands for parental guidance suggested. Some material may not be suitable for children. The film should be investigated further by parents. There may be some content such as language, violence, or brief nudity. But they aren't so intense that more than guidance is suggested.
Yes.
It's weird. And then you think about the movies, and we're going to name them. We ranked them.
Right.
It's weird. It's going to get weird.
Well, it's weird, but
really
we have to remember that it was PG and R. There was no in between at that time. So it's kind of like, where do you put it? I don't know.
Should we have gone back and retroactively, like, maybe,
assigned a rating?
Been like, this is a pre-1980 or whatever it is PG, like, just so y'all know, this is before, so it's going to be weird for the kids.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to decide. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be
weird.
Weird.
Because we know what's best for kids. So we
do.
Yeah, we do. Knives, candy.
Yeah. Running with scissors are good.
Yeah.
Okay, who's up and what's first? We have 10 films, right? 10 films?
Yeah,
we have 10 films.
I am first. And
okay, so we re-ranked 10 titles. And Caleb is first. All right. Hit us, Caleb.
And so we'll synopsisize the movie, and then we will discuss.
Tell you why it's extreme.
Yeah. Why it's so extreme.
Okay, so coming in at number 10, we have got Twilight Zone, the movie.
First film.
Yeah, 1983's Twilight Zone, the movie.
Love this movie.
So this movie's kind of hard to put a synopsis on, so I'm just going to read something. 4 horror and science fiction segments directed by 4 famous directors, each of them being a new version of a classic story from Rod Serling's landmark television series. Those 4 directors, of course, are Joe Dante, John Landis, George Miller, and Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I like this movie too. I've watched it since I was a kid. I'm a huge fan of the OG Twilight Zone. Huge fan. Cursed film. It was on Shudder's Cursed Films.
That's right.
And not only is it cursed, like, it is incredibly sad. People actually died in the making of this film. Like,
yes.
That doesn't have anything to do with the rating, but like, that's intense and weird and horrible.
Yeah, just that fact alone right there is like,
it just makes it like, ick. Also, why in like the 80s did everything have to be blah 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 the movie?
That was the start of it.
It's so embarrassing. It makes me feel embarrassed for the movie that it's blah 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 the movie.
Well, so okay, so why is this film? Why is this film extreme, Caleb?
You don't have to be on the spot. We'll all help you.
Well, the first thing that always kind of grabs. So the first 2 episodes I'm kind of okay with, which is I'm blanking on their names, but the Vic Morrow one where people actually die. Well, sorry, that one I guess does have a whole bunch of racism in it, which
So
does that
Caleb
really
and I kind of talked about this one, and I think where that falls under is there's a whole bunch of racist things coming up and historical things, and I think that the children would need more than a little bit of maybe some guidance. I think they would need a lot of guidance to understand, like, what's going on, what's happening, why is this bad? Like, otherwise, it's not going to make any sense to them.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and then the second one, which is the old people becoming young again, I don't really think there's anything. But starting with the Joe Dante directed episode, the first thing that always freaked me out was the sister Sarah with no fucking mouth.
Yep.
That always just like, what?
That's pretty. You're gonna need some guidance if you're a child. You need some guidance
and then
on
the
that
fact that it's her little brother that wished her mouth away because she was, saying things that he didn't like. That kind of makes it even creepier.
Absolutely.
And then the next thing for me is obviously the John Landis and our good friend Jeffrey Weissman segment, Terror at, what is it, 20,000?
Nightmare at 30,000 feet. So in the movie it's 30,000, and the TV show was 20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
They upped it. That's one
We
of my
upped the
favorite.
ante, baby.
One of my favorite episodes from the original
And
series.
so obviously that one
William
has
Shatner.
a gremlin or whatever you want to call it on the wing, ripping
It's a
things
gremlin.
apart.
It's my hero. That gremlin started it all for me.
That was it.
Tearing shit apart and creating chaos.
Right.
Making people feel insane.
Yeah.
Goals.
Yeah.
Honestly, goals.
And then also the Dan Aykroyd,
Yes, the
Midnight
you want to see
Special.
something really scary,
Yep.
Midnight
So for me, it's those
Special.
three things. So
Shine
Yes.
a light
So
on
yeah, so
me.
Caleb, my notes, like I have the reason this is extreme is you want to see something really scary, Girl with No Mouth, and Nightmare at 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah,
that's that-
and well, I mean there's a lot of like in the whatchamacallit one, there's a lot of violence too. I don't know, which I mean, not that kids can't handle violence, but they might need some context or something for their violence to yeah.
I think the worst thing is the grandma when it grabs John Lithgow's face and kind of like gives a little tweak, and then it just kind of does a the no.
Oh, I
Yeah.
feel
Tries to
like
shoot him.
the
But
one with what's his name in it, like with the war and the whole and the thing.
the beginning one, yeah.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. Anyway,
So yeah,
so-
I mean, because it's not like you just put it on for kids and be like, "Hey, kids, this first segment, you're gonna love it." It's so
hey,
relevant.
kid.
Hey kids,
So
you want to see
relevant.
something really scary?
It's so
Yeah,
relevant for
exactly.
children.
So what makes this movie scary? Ultimately, it's horror elements and some violence. Yes,
Yeah,
that's what
Yes.
makes this movie.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Stop
Okay.
it! Is it gonna do it every time?
It might. I don't know.
that's
So
so
should we give it a rating then?
I'm gonna
It's a
say
PG-13.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
solid 13. Yeah.
That's a solid
Yeah.
13.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Next up, number 9 is my film. Not that I made it myself or own it, but it was assigned to me.
It's
by the
you, man.
boss?
It's you.
It's me. 1978's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is one of those wonderful remakes that are so far and few in between, but this is one of those great ones. The story, of course, of alien spores that come down from some other distant planet, invade our plant life, grow pods. People go, that's a pretty flower, bring into their home, ends up assuming your identity, turns you into dust, basically mulch, kind of mulches you, basically takes your
Hate
identity.
it when that happens.
I know, it's a real pain in the ass. And then, eventually spreads enough to take over the world. It basically becomes your doppelganger, for lack of a better, better term.
Yeah.
And you've got, of course, Donald Sutherland playing the health inspector, Brooke Adams playing one of his lab tech people, Jeff Goldblum playing his friend, I guess his cocky friend is all he is.
His
Yeah.
friend?
His friend. And then Leonard Nimoy is the psychologist,
Spock.
whatever he is, who writes books and is famous for being a psychologist, I guess is what but
He's like Dr. Spock.
Yeah, basically. The only thing he doesn't do is one of these. He doesn't do what whatever this is called.
Vulcan neck pinch.
I gotta say, for as far as alien schemes go, it's a pretty good plan.
Yeah, well, shit. I mean, coronavirus. Hello. It's like clearly it could work. It's just
and I mean the whole doppelgang, the whole thing.
Yes,
like, the whole plan.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying if you think about starting a virus or a whatever little organism to take over it, get that one host, and then you just kind of start, from there going out. I mean,
yeah.
But this film is it's PG, obviously, because we're talking about it. But for me, it is extreme because of its horror elements, and it's got some nudity. Brooke Adams does a scene where she gets up after being replicated, and she is naked. Granted, she is kind of being hidden by some brush, I guess we'll say, but you can still make out form and nipples even and that kind of stuff. And then, of course, the horror elements with the wonderful dog they got that has its owner's face when it runs up to the
banjo player's face.
The banjo player, yeah. And then other bits of horror elements as well, of course. So this film is definitely on the extreme side. It's a wonderful film, though. You guys go.
There's the head crushing where he Donald Sutherland crushes his
replicant head,
doppelganger, replicant, whatever copy with a rake, and it just sort of like caves in like a watermelon, and you get that that awesome 70s bright red blood that Neil talked about a couple episodes ago, and that is definitely, that's for me, that's the main thing, that and the nudity.
So. It's another one that's like, I don't know, because in our minds we associate, this is like a running theme for me with a lot of these films, we associate PG with like, oh, this movie is it's a family movie, it's intended for this audience, and it's like, this is not intended for kids. It's not intended for children.
And that's how I thought about them too. Yeah. Was like, can you take your kids to it? What would a kid think about it? That kind of thing is how I went through all these films, trying to figure that out. Yeah.
I mean, they might be like, oh, this is cool, but you wouldn't like, okay, little Tommy and little Jan, go watch this movie. Like, you wouldn't like drop them off and like, you go watch your movie, I'll go watch my movie.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So no, I agree. This one's fun. This one's fun for me because I love Donald Sutherland's character, the health inspector. I don't know,
the very famous point in this movie, the very famous like face.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah, it's like many memes were launched from that image.
I like
face that launched a million memes.
I like when he picks the rat turd out of the soup in the beginning. Is like, what is this? And like, that's a caper. You're like, oh, it is? That's a rat turd. No, sir, that's a caper. And well, then eat it.
Like, he really had it out for that restaurant. I feel like there's a whole backstory there that
oh, no question.
Maybe he couldn't get a table or something when he wanted one, but
yeah.
You guys, I think after watching this and Don't Look Now, that's the one, right? That we reviewed? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think that I'm allergic to young Donald Sutherland.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He disturbs me when he was a young man. I don't know why. He like makes my hackles rise. I don't know. I'm mildly allergic to young Donald Sutherland.
Young Donald Sutherland. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Mildly allergic to him.
So for you, Donald Sutherland is okay.
Just the young one, though. Just the
young one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so obsessed with
this
that.
was my first time seeing it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was
I think it's a fun film. So I liked it.
I had a really good time.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
And throwback to Kevin McCarthy from the original, who runs in on the car at that one point. They're after us! They're after us! Run! So, yeah.
I remember seeing the original when I was a younger kid, and I remember I thought it was boring when I was like a young kid.
It's kind of slow. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, if you were to show this to a kid, I think they would get bored within
be like, the hell you
15 or
making me
20
watch?
minutes and be like, all right, I'm out of here. You know, they
Like,
wouldn't even
where's my
sit through it.
iPad? No.
The awesome thing is, if you guys saw, is it Airplane or Airplane 2? Where they do that scene where the truck pulls up to the outside the airport, and it's a truck, and then they open the curtains and there's pods in there, and they're taking pods out. I mean, it's clearly they're calling it
I
too.
don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's the first or second one. It might be the first one.
You think so?
I don't remember now. It's one of the, I can't remember exactly, but it's hysterical because there's the whole scene where they're taking the pods out and moving them out of the truck in the loading zone of the airport.
I haven't seen either film.
Okay. Anyway,
see, I'm thinking since I'd never seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers, that
you didn't get it then.
Just like went right over my head.
You're like, what is that? Vegetables?
Yeah.
What's happening there? You guys ready for number 8?
Number 8.
It's a movie we all love. We dedicated a whole episode to it, our Christmas episode.
Back when we were in a studio.
Yes, way back in the day before COVID, when people could gather. And it is 1984's Gremlins, or as I like to call them,
Grammys.
the Grammys.
Yes.
I love it, Grammys, and of course,
dun, 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 dun.
yes, which you know that song is called the Gremlin Rag.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, fun
wow.
fact.
Now I know how to search it. Search it out.
Of course, this is directed by Joe Dante, who apparently is like the PG extreme director, and I don't know what that says about his legacy. I really don't know. So of course, this is 1984. Oh, we have a whole episode about it. We do a deep dive into the Gremlins, but it is about a inventor man who sells his wares. And he is looking for a special gift for his son, and he finds, of course, the amazing, adorable Gizmo in Chinatown, which is a mogwai. And they're real cute, and then they get cuter if you feed them after midnight and or get water on them. They get somehow even freaking cuter. Anyway, okay, that's a matter of opinion. The Gremlins get a little bit more naughty and chaotic, and they run amok in this town, and Phoebe Cates' dad died in a chimney.
There you go.
Reason number 1 why it should be PG.
It's that weird, she has this weird monologue, and it's like all about her dad. Why she hates Christmas is because her dad rotted in a chimney and smelled up their whole house, and then they pulled out his decaying worm-like carcass.
A raccoon, and they pull out a dad dressed in a Santa suit holding presents.
A whole goddamn Father Christmas.
It's awful. That's a horrible story.
It's a horrible story. It's also hilarious. Because it's like,
You're sick, Sandra.
Weird.
You're so sick.
Well, it's like, if somebody were to tell me that story, I'd be like, oh, that's so sad. I wouldn't believe them. I'd be like,
you wouldn't know whether to be grossed out or laugh.
I would be like, they're like lying for attention. Like, it's so weird.
Lying for attention.
Like, your dumb dad, whatever. Your dad left you. He went to get a pack of cigarettes and he never came home on Christmas.
Oh, I mean, that is true. Like, anyone that decides they're going to go down a chimney with presents cannot be that bright.
But she's like, no, my dad didn't leave me. He had presents. He was coming down the chimney. Anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. My dad doesn't have a whole other family in Akron. He's dead in the chimney, goddammit.
Because he had wonderful presents for me. He had a Barbie dream house.
That's right.
Oh, anyway.
He had a Pelter smokeless ashtray, goddamn.
So this movie, I'm not gonna say it's horrible for kids. Like,
so here's my thing on Gremlins. It's geared towards kids. Is the problem with it? And I say problem meaning I love Gremlins. We love Gremlins.
Yeah,
we all watched it as children. We love it.
Yes, I mean in the theaters and on video and everything 1,000 times.
We love it.
But it is geared towards children.
We stand Gremlins.
We do. We more than stand them. We stand in all of them. I mean, we have full back piece tattoos of the Gremlins of Mogwai. for all the scenes that I love so much, which are the kitchen scene and the stripe melting scene and the bar scene, those are all the reasons it shouldn't be PG. You know what I mean? So that's the thing.
And yet those are all the reasons that the PG-13 rating was created.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, it is like, because the Gremlins, they're really bad. They're really naughty. And
Absolutely.
you have to really murder the gremlin. And I've talked about in our episode when Mom goes full Rambo.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden it's like she seems like this like docile homemaker, and really she's just like, she wants to taste blood. She wants to taste gremlin blood. Yeah. And
she's got a freaking
sadistic ways. Sadistic.
Yeah, she's totally got a sex swing and some whips in her bedroom. I mean, she's
a
like
sex swing.
She's all going for it.
I love it how I'm talking about her as the sadistic Rambo. You're like, yeah, she has a sex swing, bro.
I know. Way to make this whole thing extreme, Neil.
Extreme.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I mean the gremlins smoke, they carry on, they drink.
They do it all.
They flash each other, they shoot each other. The
lady gremlin wears a lot of makeup, which is how I learned to put on my makeup. Was from the lady gremlin, so there's that.
Okay, so we love Gremlins.
Absolutely.
And we all agree that it is
too extreme.
We got it
too extreme.
Ooh, it's changing.
It's changing. You guys don't even know what's coming up.
What's happening?
Going from a Mogwai to a gremlin.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Number 7.
Tears.
Number 7 is the
7 is you, Neil.
Is me, yeah. The 1974 film by Larry Cohen called It's Alive. It is alive, or it's. This is a story of a wonderful 70s couple who live in a wonderful 70s home with wonderful 70s decor and extreme 70s clothing that have a child. They're pregnant and they go to the hospital. Too extreme. They're 70s. Everything 70s is extreme. They go to the hospital. They have their baby. The baby murders everyone except the mom in the hospital delivery room, makes an escape, rampages through town murdering people. The police are after it. The dad is after it. He disowns the baby, saying, I want nothing to do with this kid. He's an abomination. They finally corner the kid at the end in the freaking sewers, and the dad's like, oh, he's my son. Leave him alone. So he grabs the kid. They run. The dad throws him on a cop. They shoot the cop. They shoot the kid. Movie ends. So, except there was one more born in a different state. Ooh.
And this movie got remade too, like in 2009, I believe.
Yeah, I never saw the remake of that. Yeah.
Weren't there a few sequels to this?
Oh, yeah. It's Alive. It's Alive something. Island of the Alive. Aliver. Yeah.
It's
Alive too, and then Island of the Alive.
Extreme.
So this is extreme for the horror elements and the bright red blood that we all love from the 70s. He attacks people. He tends to scratch them over here. Kills them for some reason. But
right here.
Yeah. But he does eat the neighbor or their friend who's watching the kid. He takes a good chunk out of the throat at one point. Believe it or not, this is a Rick Baker created creature. Rick Baker did the baby, which is cool because this is 1974. I mean, you're like, Rick Baker's like 12 years old. Like, what the hell? You know, I mean, he's pretty young.
He is young, yeah.
But it's a fun design. They don't show it enough, unfortunately, in my opinion. They wait till the very end to finally start revealing it, which is a little irritating.
By fun, you mean it looks like they took a bodybuilding wrestler and shrunk it. Like, not so much in proportions, but just made it wee.
Yeah, like an albino one.
And it's got really intense eyes.
Yep. And the claws. Anyways, yeah, horror elements would be the reason this is probably extreme, I guess. And the fact, and the dad, the total mansplaining dad. He even hits his wife at one point because she won't listen to him about the kid. Yeah, I know. That was pretty bad. So
And like back in that day, that was totally fine. Like, the man's
the
head of the household. He's got to slap him around every once in a while.
Yep. I was laughing. This is totally unrelated to it being rated PG, but when the wife tells him it's time to go to the hospital because she's about to give birth, and he's in the closet, like picking out what he should wear.
Picking out his greasy strangler outfit for the evening.
Which one should I lead the disco tour with?
Yeah.
It's just another one. Again, it's like, why would you think for kids though? Like, why would you think, let's put a PG rating on that one?
Yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
Not at all for
makes
kids.
Sense.
Maybe because they don't, I don't know. They didn't swear enough in it, or they didn't show enough, but
they didn't swear enough. More swearing.
The poor dad, he works at a PR agency, and then they fire him basically because he has his child that is deformed.
Because he's having bad PR. Oh, that's a thing. They use the R word.
They do use the R word, yes. A couple times to describe his child or someone else's child.
Someone else's child.
And then his child has issues. And then for that, they have to fire him. It's because it's bad PR for them. Yeah. So you're just like, geez. So
70s was a harsh
Sandra,
time.
The world was a different place back then.
Yeah, it was.
It was so great.
And he didn't even get to be in because at the back then he didn't even get to be in the delivery room while his wife was
delivering. That's woman's work.
Sit him out to the waiting room with the rest of the men so they could play poker and
bang on a freaking machine to knock out some coffee or something.
Absolutely ridiculous. Well, I mean, back then fatherhood was a hands-off model too. So
yes.
It just kind of all made sense. Good God.
Yep.
Can I talk about number 6? Because I'm
Please
really
do.
Absolutely.
Number 6 is one of my favorite movies, 1975's Jaws. Directed by a fella named Steven Spielberg. He's done a couple of things.
I think I heard of him.
Who that guy?
Yeah, you might have heard of him. I don't know. He's done a few things. So, of course, this is the story of a beachside town which is under siege from a great white shark eating people, and we have the sheriff saying, "Close the beaches," and we have the mayor saying, "Open the beaches," and it's very much relevant to today's COVID era. And then we have a shark expert. Mr. Hooper comes along. We got to get Quint, my beloved forever man crush Quint. We go out on the ship with the sheriff. We're gonna kill the fish. It's a great time. It's a great summer movie, but maybe not for little kid. I don't know. I watched it as a little kid, but I wouldn't say it's like recommended for little kids.
No,
it's
not
violent,
at all.
scary.
Yeah, I mean, a little kid gets chomped on a raft or on a inflatable, right?
Right.
I mean, that's right there alone is not a good.
Right there.
Yeah.
It'll scare kids to learn from swimming or being on inflatables, whatever it might be. So
for being in swimming pools, because shark could be in there. You don't know.
It could be. You never know.
No, it's I mean, it's a great, brilliant film, but it's violent. It's not, and it's supposed to be violent and scary and thrilling. It's not really supposed to be like fun for the whole family.
Right. Well, and it scared a lot of people from going into the ocean. I mean, legitimately.
Oh yeah, and it gave sharks a very bad rap.
Right. I mean, Peter Benchley did that. That was his fault. He's the one that wrote the book. So
I'm gonna blame Steven Spielberg more than Peter Benchley.
Okay, for making a better film. Okay.
Yeah, because the film.
I know it's one of the few films. Yep.
Right on the book. Yep.
One of the few.
One of the few.
Well, there's also some limbs and things wash up on shore or something at one point.
And there's blood. There's sinew. There's a whole
blood and sinew.
There's an entire Quint getting like.
Are you insinuating something?
Quint, you watch him die. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part.
The worst one, I think. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you like him and he's getting chomped, spitting out blood, and it goes on for like 5 minutes. It feels like
a really long death.
Yeah.
And like the sheriff and Hooper are just like
And then Hooper is Hooper gone at that point yet, or is he still there? Because he goes in the cage and then he gets attacked.
Oh,
and you don't
yeah.
know what's up with him. So
That's pretty scary, too.
Yeah.
No, this isn't PG. Get the hell out of here with PG.
Too extreme.
Okay. Too extreme for Jaws.
You heard it here first.
What's next?
Is it my turn?
It is.
It is. All right. So number 5 is 1984's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Brilliant film. Brilliant
film.
Another one I watched as
You've watched
a kid.
this one before? All right.
Yeah, well, and especially as a kid, but yeah.
All right. In 1935, Indiana Jones arrives in India, still part of the British Empire, and is asked to find a mystical stone. He then stumbles upon a secret cult committing enslavement and human sacrifices in the catacombs of an ancient palace.
Yes.
He runs into the thuggy cult.
It's
Thuggy,
a lot.
like that.
There's a lot going on in this movie. And this movie
really is.
traumatized a lot of people when they saw it as kids.
They
I
did.
think we all kind of narrowly avoided that trauma, but it made me uncomfortable when I was a kid. I remember that. Like, I loved the other movies so much, and this one, like, it just made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Kalima, you know.
So we showed this, I guess once at the Cult Film Series a number of years ago, probably in 2014, because I would have done like a 30th anniversary thing or something. And a friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine, posted something saying, I don't remember this at all, but he said that I said that Temple of Doom has nothing to do with Indiana Jones being an archaeologist. It's just like a exploitation film, basically, of of him and what little gags could they pull off with Indiana Jones, and I kind of thing. And I'm like, I said that I was 10 years old, Jesus Christ. But anyway, you guys know I love this film. So,
Absolutely.
Yes, we all love it. Yeah.
So, but I would say obviously that it is extreme for the dinner scene. Absolutely, the dinner scene. This is what I have down. The heart ripping out scene, the human sacrifice.
Yeah.
And then the whole thuggy cult whipping the children, making them do the work, kind of thing.
I think that was honestly the thing that upset me the most when I was a little kid. Is because that's like, oh, like that's not okay, and it makes you sad, and it's not all right.
See, now I loved this film as a kid. I mean, I watched it in '84 when it came out. Obviously,
me too.
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I feel like it was sort of a rite of passage to be able to talk to the other kids that saw it on the playground, about, remember we went Kalima, ripped your heart out, and and the chilled monkey brains and the eyeballs in the soup. And
for me, it was a snake. You cut the big snake open,
snake out,
and the little snakes came out, the little eels or whatever.
Horrid.
Yeah. That was so gross, but it was awesome.
I mean, all of that is awful. I mean, here's the thing. We all saw it as kids. We all liked it. However, children will have questions, and they may require some guidance. They may even require to sleep with a light on.
So I showed, and in fact, to prove your point, I showed my son this film when he was probably 7 or 8, I'm going to guess, and it scared the living shit out of him. So much so that when Malaram came up and did the heart scene, he bolted. He took off out of the living room and just like ran screaming into the other room. So, and I had to sleep in the room with him, his room that night. I had to sleep with him because he was petrified of Malaram.
To this day, you have to sleep in his room.
To this day.
He just comes knocking.
Yep.
Kalima.
Malaram's coming to get me. Daddy, what am I going to do?
I think for me, I just, I would just crawl over to the VHS and press fast forward through the stuff I didn't like. Yeah, 'cause it's not PG. No.
Oh, and Vision's Truth. Mark brings up the whole insect scene where I step on something, feel like fortune cookie kind of thing.
God. Well, yeah, and now of course we could have Yeah, we could do a little editing to short. we could rework that in 2020. It wasn't Spielberg's best moment or whoever the hell wrote the script. I don't know, but
I don't know. Anyway, that's our number. What is that? 5.
Number 5. Ooh.
Number 5.
We'll call it Too Extreme.
4? Too Extreme.
Right.
Too Extreme.
So up next we have. I'm stalling a little bit. 1982's One Dark Night.
Yes.
So, as part of an initiation into a club called the Sisters, a young girl must spend the night in a mausoleum. But in the meantime, I'm blanking on his name. What's the bad guy's name?
Neil.
It's Carl Raymore.
Carl Raymond.
Yeah. Carl Raymond.
What did you call him? The local telekinetic?
Telekinesis guy.
Telekinesis-y.
Yeah.
Has also been entombed there in the mausoleum and starts to wreak havoc, if you will.
He was obsessed with trying with death and trying to make himself die and come back. Basically, is what it is. So, and he achieves that in the mausoleum the same night that the poor girl's in there.
Mission accomplished, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a real Elon Musk. It's just right. I admittedly, full disclosure, I haven't seen this movie, and I really want to.
Oh, no.
I think you'd like it.
I know. I think I will like it too. I think I'll like it. I really do.
It's kind of a slow burn. Like all the best stuff happens in like
sell it to me. Sell the movie to me.
The last 20,
and sell me on the
15 to 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Why the PG, and why is it not okay?
Well, and I'm again blanking on his name, but when he starts to come alive,
Carl, I think it was Carl.
Carl Raymond.
All these other entombed dead people start coming alive as well, and kind of fucking with everyone that's there.
Literally.
Fucking with, yeah, not fucking, but fucking with.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you have all these skeletons start to come out, and there's like a cadaver doggy pile on a couple of the girls.
Is it spooky, scary skeletons? Sending
I think
shivers down your spine?
real. It's real skeletons from India, just like in Poltergeist.
Yeah, all the old movies, they were real skeletons. Yeah, probably still are. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So this movie was written and directed by Tom McLaughlin, who most people know from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. But this was like one of his, I think his first directorial full feature film. But it's just it's one of those charming films that he did everything possible to make it. But yeah, basically this Carl Raymond guy, he's dead, but they find a bunch of dead women in his apartment because he basically drains their energy. He needs to take. He's like an energy vampire, essentially.
He's like Colin Robinson.
Yeah, exactly. He has to take the energy to be able to do his telekinesis and whatever he needs to do to try and make himself die and come back. Which is, I guess, he's dead now because taking their energy. He's buried, or not buried, but entombed. Comes out and It's so cool. It's so cool though because like these. So you got the girl who's pledging, the two mean girls who are coming back to try and get her to leave because they don't really want her in the group that they're in.
Yeah.
So they're
just mean to begin with. They're mean girls to begin with.
They're mean girls, so, exactly. Yeah. But it's Meg Tilly, by the way. The good girl who's pledging is Meg Tilly.
I love Meg Tilly.
So yeah, and she's really good. But the caskets like come out real slow, and then they lower it down real slow, and then like the door opens, and the first guy you see, the first dead body is this like really gooey, like gross one. And it just like comes out, and I don't think it's that they're alive. It's his telekinesis is making them move because they're kind of gliding, kind of through everything.
They're decomposition meat puppets.
And yes, there you go.
Yeah.
There are meat puppets in various stages of decomposition. Some are skeletal, some are very gooey. But
Juicy.
I mean, there's some really great imagery, Caleb. I don't know if you remember the one where the girls are running in the hallway and then it's black. You can't see the end of the mausoleum of the hallway, and then one of them, like in a white dress, kind of is moving towards them. I mean, it's really pretty spooky the way they did it. There's one girl, like the casket opens and it's a little girl holding a doll.
Yes,
but she's skeletal, with some flesh or whatever. Still, I mean, I'm saying for a PG film, it'll freak the crap out of you. No kid should be watching the end of this.
Really good. There was one where the face gets like
the girl
off.
rips the flesh off.
It's like it's really cool.
So Caleb has a 5-year-old, so you wouldn't be like, okay, Dad's got to do some work. Just watch this movie right here. You'll be fine.
He's half demon, so yeah, he'd probably like it. But
okay, that's like, you're really lucky though. Other working parents don't have that option. They don't have a half demon.
No, I would not. Baby. I would not show this to my 5-year-old or my 10-year-old.
Oh, so. Or the 10-year-old.
Or the 10-year-old. No.
Yeah, it's the end of it's pretty intense. Honestly, I think it would scare a lot of people.
It really is.
Okay.
But it's a great. I really like this film though. It's probably one of my favorites on this list actually. So.
Too extreme though. Too extreme.
Oh, too extreme. It's almost so extreme you have to quit. I don't know, but
I would say movies.
I would say it's
Movie Extremo.
Movie Extremo. Wow.
Great.
Yep.
I don't like that one as much. I like the other one.
I know. We got to change it up though.
No, I feel like in that one he doesn't believe it. He's not committed. It's like extreme, I guess.
All right.
Yeah. Nah. What do you got next?
What's next?
It's number 3.
Me. Number 3 is 1979's Tourist Trap. Tourist Trap, a wonderful Charles Band production of a pretty freaky film, quite honestly. If you're not a fan of, I want to say, any kind of like a doll or a mannequin or anything of that sort, this is not your movie. So, Chuck Connors, he was a big 70s guy. He was, I'm trying to think of something anyone would know him in. He was, back in the day when gas stations did commercials, I think he was like the spokes actor for like 76, I think it was. I remember right? Big dude, red hair. He was in the Airplane
film. Yeah, he's really
film.
tall.
Yeah. He was in Airplane as well. But he basically...
Like everything comes back to Airplane.
It's the Kevin Bacon of movies. So...
It's really not.
But a group of kids basically are driving. It's kind of a little bit of we got a little Texas Chainsaw at first. The kids are driving cross country. The car breaks down. They're like, hey, we got to go get some help. Let's go to this place here in the middle of nowhere. And basically, they go to an abandoned museum where you find a bunch of mannequins that are doing different historical things, basically. Enter Chuck Connors, the proprietor of this museum, which is actually closed. It's a shuttered museum. And the kids ultimately start dying, or things start happening to them by a masked marauder of sorts, a very mean masked man, which of course ends up being Mr. Connors at the end. You think it might be his brother, but at the end it's him, causing trouble. But he also has some kind of like telekinesis thing where he can make things move, and he can bring these mannequins to life and make them do things. And
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
This sounds more and more like we're just talking about films that scare Neil because they have telekinesis.
Maybe it might be it. Maybe I'm afraid.
It's like,
what do phobia
films have in common?
No, but okay. This film is basically it is Texas Chainsaw meets Carrie meets House of Wax. Is basically what it is, because he takes the people and he coats them in whatever it is, the paper mache type plaster, and makes new characters with them for his museum, kind of thing. So it's a mixture.
It's his art. It's the man's art.
It is his art, and I don't begrudge him for that whatsoever. So, but but there's a lot of like screaming mannequins, and they make noises, and they come and get you. And so I'm just saying, between that and there's a pipe. A guy gets a pipe in the back, and the blood comes out the end of the pipe. Poor Tanya Roberts, looking very young and beautiful in this film, gets a knife in the back of the neck. I mean,
there's nothing PG about this film.
It's not a PG film.
Nothing.
Not at all.
Kind of. My note that I wrote is like, this is an extreme episode of Scooby-Doo.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. He would have gotten
Except
away
instead
with it.
instead of the kids like figuring out like, oh, and I would have gotten away with it too.
Really.
Kids, yep. They rip the mask off and are like, oh, it's old man Slauson.
Old man Peabody in the backyard.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, did you see? I actually, sometimes I can see the comments, and Mark Vision's Truth says Tourist Trap was too weird for me.
Too weird.
It's like, this is too fucking weird. Mark out.
He's gone. Michael says that Chuck Connors from the Rifleman.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel like he played like a cowboy in a lot of things.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like his MO. Yeah,
And Mindy says Neil is scared of Carrie. Wouldn't you be, Mindy? Wouldn't you be scared of a girl who could throw knives into you?
No,
I'd always
Carrie's
be afraid
a
I
hero.
say the wrong thing around her, and she like.
No, just be nice. Just be a decent human, unlike literally everyone in Carrie, and you'll be fine.
William Catt was a decent person to her, and she let him die.
I mean, would we say no? He's not that
collateral
great.
damage. What you can't say.
He totally would have turned on her.
No.
He liked her.
No, you know what? They pushed Carrie too far.
Yes, they did.
Is it time for the number 2 movie?
Yes, number 2.
Yes. This is another one that we dedicated an entire episode to, and I know y'all watched it because it was a lot of fun. And that would be 1973's The Baby. Just a baby. Just a movie about a baby. What could be so wrong?
So cute.
He's just a little baby.
Babies are cute.
Babies are so great. But you see, this is not a movie about a real baby. This is about someone that was forced to be a baby against their will. So, in case you forgot or didn't see our episode, social worker Anne is oddly fascinated and drawn to this case about Mrs. Wadsworth and her fully grown son who has the mind and behavior of a baby. Her interest fast becomes obsession, some could say, and leads to a violent and bizarre, emphasis on the bizarre, conclusion. So I love this movie. I think this movie should be more of a camp classic than it is. I mean, I feel like it deserves a lot more. Like, this movie is just so weird and silly and gross, and people should watch it and enjoy it like they do Mommy Dearest and Grey Gardens and all those things. It deserves that. So this is another one where there's nothing about this that's for a PG audience. There's literally nothing about it that's for a PG audience. It is violent. It does have sexual overtones to a lot of conversations and scenes. There is an off-camera incest with someone who can't give consent. It's weird. There's nothing about this that's like, yeah, maybe I maybe suggest lightly parental guidance. No. We would express strongly parental guidance. Like, this isn't like a maybe you might have to explain some stuff to your kids. No. You're gonna have to. The children would be like, "What's happening? Why would someone do this? What is wrong with that man? Like, this isn't okay. This isn't okay for the PG audience."
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The babysitter, like right off the bat, like, no, baby, no. Oh, okay, go ahead and nurse me, and I have no milk to give.
It's weird. The whole thing is weird, and there's lots of hitting and
cattle prodding.
cattle prodding.
There's some cattle
incest.
prodding.
The one that's like, joyfully cattle prodding him. It's
Right.
Mom gets her legs broken and then buried alive.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Even though she deserves it. Try explaining that to your children.
Still, when being buried alive is one of your phobias, that automatically makes it a rated R film.
For Caleb, that's shots fired. Shots fired. we got a burial. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Pismo Mark says everything about it is PG. It's a family film about a family with a interesting baby. So
yeah, totally. Yeah,
I totally agree with Mark on that one.
There's nothing abusive or abhorrent about the situation. It's totally normal. It could have been on an episode of TGIF. It could have been on Full House. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally see Bob Saget in this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bob Saget played the baby.
Dave Coulier.
You and Dave Coulier. Yeah, no, not for PG. Strongly suggest guidance.
Okay, so this one would be a too extreme?
Too extreme.
Too legit to quit it? Oh crap, it didn't work. I pushed the button,
no.
It didn't work. I got denied on my extremities.
Too extreme.
Okay.
Way too extreme, bro. Okay. Are you guys ready for number one?
Numero uno, whatever will it be?
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
A film that not many people are gonna know, I don't think.
It's surprising. It's surprising, Neil. Actually, a lot of people know this film, and a lot has been written about it. And it was also a book first.
That's true. Yes. It was a book.
And
I'm curious if our chat will know this movie.
Is 1976's The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane. This is a fantastic film. This movie is fantastic. So good. Starring Jodie Foster, who's a amazing goddess creature and a fantastic actor and director. And she was so good as a kid. And she did a lot of weird subversive things as a kid. And this is one of the ones that kind of stands out. This Taxi Driver and a few other things she did that was Carney, that's oh, this is weird. So in this one, little Jodie Foster plays Rin Jacobs, who is living peacefully in a little town. She just moved here from England with her father, who is a poet. Well, turns out she has a secret, and everybody wants to be in her business and know what it is, including her horrifyingly mean landlord, who was the most ridiculous human being, and a really, really young Martin Sheen, who is a child molester.
Yes.
And she does befriend a wonderful boy who I'm obsessed with, named Mario, and they are in cahoots. Rin is very smart, very capable, but she's got some secrets.
Just
in
a
the
few.
basement.
Just a couple.
In the basement, and also one out at sea.
Yes.
There is absolutely nothing about this movie that should have been rated PG.
No.
This is the most extreme. like if we try, that little guy, we would blow up your iPad. Try to hit extreme.
Yeah.
Nothing about this. Though it was her older sister as a body double, technically we see the child naked.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
There's
the
abuse or sexual assault.
The double, by the way, was her older sister.
Yes.
I said that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay. You don't pay attention. Fine.
I can't do the too extreme with the at the same time.
Yeah, it's a great film. I thought the acting in it was wonderful. The script was great. Miss Hallett's a bit over the top for me, but it's fine. Really just wants her damn jelly jars,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pismo Mark is saying he has no idea how we could rank this number one over all the other movies on the list. But
really, bro? Really?
To that, I would say Mark, really, because we're talking about the nude scene of a 13-year-old, animal torture, freaking Martin Sheen puts a cigarette out on a hamster's head and throws it in the fire.
Yeah.
Pedophilia, that's a pretty big one.
There's
a pretty big one right
couple incidents of pedophilia.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't hide it. I mean, at all. Those
no,
are,
and everyone knows it in the town too.
Yeah, everyone knows it.
But his mom is rich and owns everything and has sort of covered it up.
Yeah, and that is so disturbing.
Yeah,
so
and
disturbing.
And
and 100% the way things used to be too. That's the way things used to be. Yeah.
And she's willingly, as a 13-year-old, having a sexual relationship with Mario, who's 19. Yeah. So I mean, I'm saying there's many things in this that I could say is completely inappropriate and is not a PG film by any means.
And you come to find out that she's poisoned her mom.
Right.
Bitch had it coming.
And in the very end, she poisons Martin Sheen and just sits there and watches it. No, I'm not saying
I know you're all about
you're still talking about a 13-year-old killing somebody, and that's not,
And we're still talking about a PG film too.
We're still talking about a PG film. So I don't know how you say this is a fine movie.
Well, I mean, it's a great movie. It is great because there's a lot you could really, really pick apart and very much editorialize like you would the book, like about this film, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of subtext. There's a lot to read into it. I mean, for me, I think what really resonated is, of course, a child who's been victimized getting vengeance on the person that was pursuing and victimizing them. Like, that's huge. Like, that's kind of that's a really big deal. It's really powerful because you never get to see that except for in rape revenge films, and you really never get to see a kid getting their revenge against their attacker either.
Right.
She's just so smart.
She's very smart, very witty.
And technically, Mario is too old for her, but I really do like his character.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good guy, and they have really adorable chemistry together. I don't need to see them in bed together. That was weird.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's when it gets uncomfortable.
Because that was I get what they're saying, that they're both wise beyond their years, but I don't know that we need to see that.
And so she murders the lady, like the Mrs. Deagle of this town.
Yeah.
Going
that's
back to
evil biatch.
Yes, this lady.
Well, it was kind of an accident.
It was an accidental murder, fine. Homicide.
But she covers it up.
But she covers it up, gets the other guy involved, and then he basically helps her cover it up as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a lot of
That's because everybody hates the Hallets because they're awful.
That's true, but you did make him an accessory to, this murder and
or at least to
he kind of agreed though. He didn't have to do it.
He didn't have to. Yeah, he could have turned her into his Uncle
He took
Ron.
the car back. He helped hide the bodies, but
yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like today, if that movie were to be made, to be adapted, it would have a strong R and it would have people up in arms. But actually this movie is very critically acclaimed, incredibly well received because it's got very powerful messages. It's just weird that it's PG.
Yep.
Real weird.
But,
real weird.
Yeah, I mean, it would totally be an R today, no question. But
hard R.
But
like a pirate.
Yes, I mean, even just the amount of nudity in it was surprising. I mean, it wasn't just like a quick little shot or something. It was, take off my clothes, look at my butt, look at my boobs, come over here,
get into bed with a naked,
with
19-year-old boy.
Yeah.
No, kids. Like I said, I get that they're trying to show they're wise beyond their years and they really love each other, but we don't fuck with that. We don't. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
I don't even know that this movie would be made today. So
I think it could, but they would have to cut some of that stuff. Yeah. Definitely.
But it for sure is our number one.
It's so extreme.
Too extreme.
Too extreme. I think that this is, for me, the youngest I've ever seen Martin Sheen. I so know him as President Bartlett from The West Wing.
Okay.
So to see him this young, looking so much like his kids, and like he looks so much like his kids in this movie, and then he's playing like the most anti-President Bartlett person on the planet.
And Apocalypse Now is a
I was gonna say, like, how...
Oh yeah, Apocalypse
From 78.
Now. But yeah, because he was a little bit older.
In Apocalypse Now, yeah.
Yeah.
So Michael wanted to clarify that that this is not Charlie Sheen's life story, but it's Martin Sheen. So like, Michael put a little dig in there. Good job, Michael.
True.
Okay, so that's our list, huh? All 10.
I think
It's so extreme. How do you even...
So extreme. Man.
So damn extreme.
These are a lot of good films in this list, no question. If you, again, I would have to really recommend The One Dark Night if you haven't seen that yet. Even the last one we just talked about, it's actually a really good film, very well done, well acted, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these are not our favorites in any kind of order of favorite by any means. They're in order of literally extremity.
I was gonna say, technically a Halloween movie, The Little Girl Who Lived Out.
It is, technically.
That's true. That's how it opens, huh?
Martin Sheen comes in on Halloween. Hey,
and it's
candy for my kids.
Forces his way in, by the way.
Yeah.
He's, I hate him. I hate him. Well, especially like because she's from England, and back then people didn't really. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What is Halloween? I don't." Oh God, It's just my birthday.
Do you guys have any honorable mentions?
I had a couple.
Okay, hit us.
One that I had on my list that didn't make the cut was Arthur, parts 1 and 2. This would be the Dudley Moore movies, not the ones about the aardvark that is animated. So weirdly, really weirdly, I don't know. I had these movies on VHS as a small child, and I watched them a lot. This is another one. There's no reason these movies should be rated PG. They're weird adult movies about an alcoholic. And they have a lot of drinking and smoking and sexual situations. Again, I don't know. But apparently somebody thought, this is okay for kids, and I had VHS copies of it. I also had Ghostbusters on my list. Ghostbusters isn't like crazy intense. Again, movie a lot of us watched and loved as kids, including myself. But I don't know. It's got some stuff, and it's got a little bit of sex. It's got smoking. It's got whatever. That's like. And I know a lot of kids were actually really scared by it when it came out. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caleb, you got anything?
I think Poltergeist could have easily made our list.
Definitely.
Yep.
Look, there are a lot of films out there that could be on this, and I mean, we were throwing around a bunch of them, trying to whittle it down, and use Scott the algorithm to to make our list based on what we submitted. So but I think that Poltergeist definitely easily could have been on.
So I have two that I think were at least at one point or another were on my list that we might be talking about next week. I don't know if we came to that decision yet or not.
Maybe,
yes, we did.
Possibly.
We have to announce that. We have to announce it because it's homework.
So are we doing the two?
Yeah.
Okay, so the two that are on my honorable mention we're actually going to cover next week. So Caleb, go ahead. It's your pick.
Okay. So your homework for next week is to watch Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. If you have an Amazon Prime account, it's streaming there, so you can watch it for free. And then 1972's Tales from the Crypt, which is on Tubi. Okay, so you can watch it there, and that's free.
Yeah,
you just have to create an account.
This is so exciting.
We're doing a 70s double feature. 70s
Weird
double
70s,
feature next week.
Weird, gritty 70s double feature grossness. I'm
That's
excited.
right. Both films PG, and both could have made this list, but
easily.
And both, yeah.
They're both getting their own episodes. What's happening?
Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. So we loved it so much, we wanted to give it its own episode.
At least half of one.
At least half of one, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's it.
Don't
what else you
forget
got?
affiliate links. We will link all these films down below. We'll give you both the Blu-rays and the Amazon what do you call it? Streaming links. You can do either one. If you don't want to get physical media, you can stream it.
Don't want to get physical with us.
No, some people just don't want to get physical. They don't want to touch. No touchy.
It's fine. You don't got it.
It's okay. It's a new world out there. Other than that, yeah, I guess that's about it, right? We're done.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Yeah.
We love you.
We love you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
All right. So we have to thank Mark, both Marks, and Mindy, and Laura, and Michael, and Enoch, if you're still around.
And all the people listening at home and watching
And everyone at home, the Potters.
Come on, people.
Thank you.
Happy Pots.